Welcome back, everybody. We're here to draft again. That's right. Let's play two. That's what we say. Well, let's draft two. Did a sleeper mock with you, redraft earlier. It's best ball time, and it's time to do it because we don't have that much time left for draft season. Sadly, I don't know. I don't know about you, Chris. Drafting is actually kind of my favorite part of the whole season. I mean, no, in the season and counting the points and doing all that, it's fun. But I just love drafting. I mean, I could draft every day.
Definitely. That's what best ball is all about. Just getting drafts in. So definitely drafting favorite part. I mean, there's other parts I like as well, but this is like the most exciting time, right? It's like the start of the season. Like every team has hope, right? We all still have hope right now.
That's exactly it. You make start sit decisions. You're like, I don't know, it might pay off, it might not. When you draft your team, you pick those players because you just think they're going to go off. And so you love everybody that you draft at the time. Maybe not
Yes.
later, but at the time, everybody's great. So we're going to draft another team that we're going to love, most likely. It's Best Ball Mania 5. Of course, Underdog has a ton of contests. You guys probably already know about that. But Best Ball Mania is the flagship. It's the big one, the big tournament. I can't even remember how many we've done so far. It's a lot. We're going to do another one. So let's get into it. If you want to try to join us, you can do that. Get your Underdog app open. Get your underdogfantasy.com in the browser. Go to your account, go to the lobby, and we're going to do it. It's a 30-second per pick draft. We're definitely going to try to be in the same one. If y'all want to join us, then let's do it. All right. And then I know you like to use the app. It's very sleek, very efficient. We're also going to show you the draft board, guys, so don't worry.
I'm ready.
Ready. All right, guys. Anybody wants to join us? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. We are. Ooh.
I'm in.
It's full. It's full.
Yep. All right.
Yes, man. I think we were the last two.
Wow. All right. Okay. Never know.
You got the 8.
You are. You're at the 3. I'm at the 8. I haven't had the 8 much, so this will be interesting.
Yeah, I guess kind of lucky. I don't think I've gotten too many middle picks lately. I've gotten a lot of 10, 11, 12, a couple of 1s. I've been at the 1 more almost than I even want. And then now I'm at the 3. All right. Let's do it. And I don't know if we can make this happen. Should we make this happen, Jeff? It's going to stick around till round 18 for the Paris Campbell.
Have we heard? Like, when's the last time we even heard about Paris Campbell? What team is he even on?
The last I checked, he was on the Eagles. What I've heard is now they're looking at Johnny Wilson, the rookie, the late rookie, as the wide receiver 3. Although I think he has concussion. Who knows? Yeah, Paris Campbell fighting for roster spot. Not to encourage you.
Yeah. There will be no Paris Campbell tonight.
Well, maybe. I did just take Cam Akers in the 18th round of another one, so I can't say never.
I mean, look, you never know, and it's just a beat writer, but beat writer is speculating Dameon Pierce getting released.
Wow. Just because, look, I know he was bad in the last game, but he was supposedly looking great in camp, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, look, remember, there was beat writers saying Javonte Williams was fighting for his roster spot, and now he's the workhorse running back in Denver. So you got to take it with a little grain of salt. But he did look very bad in that game, and Akers looked much better. Now, granted, it was the backups, but still.
Right. Basically everything in the preseason has to come with a big grain of salt. Actually, a guy you just drafted in our draft we did a couple hours ago. Remember, not too long ago, they were saying Kamani Vidal and the Chargers not projected to make the final cut, and now it's like, no, just kidding. He's fine.
Yeah, he looked really good in that preseason game. as well. I mean, he's clearly behind Gus and Dobbins right now, but
Yeah,
still like him.
I mean,
Still like him. And I like getting Brees at the 8. That was pretty nice.
it was pretty nice. Yeah, it turned out that Vidal had some sort of a undisclosed injury, nothing major, and that's why he wasn't getting playing time. So it's like, yeah, there's some overreaction, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Yep, just a little bit.
Okay, so if you're at the 1, Beast claps. Where do you go?
I don't know why that name made me laugh. I'm going Christian McCaffrey. This is without, like, have you ever remembered a year where we got so many questions about like the number 1 pick? I mean, maybe we do, or maybe not necessarily the number 1 pick, but like I'm terrified to take Christian McCaffrey, so should I just take a wide receiver instead? Like, I feel like, but if it's me, I'm still going CMC. I get all the reasons to be nervous. You know, he's got a lot of wear and tear. He could get hurt. He's a running back. There's kind of sort of talk that they want to lessen his usage, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. How is Debo's ADP this high? Debo, Nico. Gosh, man. This is such a terrible spot here. Like, it's too early for Debo. It's too early for Nico. You know what? Let's just double RB this thing. Let's do it.
Very nice. A little bit of, you almost had Puka land in your lap. He went 16. Drake London and Devontae Adams both went before him.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have made it easy. So anyways, back to Beast claps question. Right? I don't know why it makes me chuckle. I'm going Christian McCaffrey. I'm looking at it like I'm trying to win my fantasy championship. And if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy all or most of the season, I feel very strongly he's going to help me win my fantasy championship. Like, sure, Tyreek Hill probably will too, and so will CeeDee Lamb and Bijan or Brees or Amon-Ra or Jefferson or Chase, if they all stay healthy, of course. But I think getting CMC is what you got to do.
Yeah. I'm slightly surprised this is still as much of a question, just because I figure people might be nervous about CeeDee Lamb. Apparently not. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, look, every running back does have risk, but I mean, I think we saw when last year Justin Jefferson was the no doubt have to take him number 1 pick. That didn't really turn out great for you overall because of the time he missed in that offense. So there's no sure thing, but I think it's got to be CMC.
Yeah, it's CMC, and you just take a deep breath, draft CMC, and look, week 1 when he gets you at 27 fantasy points, you're going to be happy you took CMC.
Yep.
Now,
at least for 1 week.
Yeah, if week 13 he has a season-ending injury, that's a different story. But what are you going to do at that point?
Yeah. Well, look, receivers get injured too. It's not like they don't.
Right.
What's up, Gabriel? Back again. That's right. 2 for 1.
That's right.
But he does have a question too.
All right.
Another RB ranking question. Got some players we can talk pretty openly here because
I know we're probably going to differ on this one.
Yeah, so we're ranking all these guys. Okay, we got several players here. All right, go for who do you have number 1 here?
I think I still have Connor number 1.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be the clear workhorse in Arizona. I got Javonte 2. I actually have Najee 3, Brian Robinson 4, Spears 5, Warren last. That's my order.
Well, we definitely agree on the first and last. I think Connor has to be first, and I'm putting Warren last, especially now with the injury, but I probably would have anyways. As far as the others, and yes, I did get Malik Neighbors there just because, yes, I hardly have any Malik Neighbors, and he's after ADP, so don't holler at me.
Oh,
I'm gonna go. Well, you're up now. I'm gonna go Connor, and then I like Robinson next.
all right. You know what? Let's get weird. Let's get weird.
Wow, going hyper fragile or just a kind of robust RB?
I'll probably go. I'll probably take one more running back later.
Nice.
I was
Okay.
hoping to get Devonta Smith there.
Yeah, look. I'm drafting Devontae Smith over and over again. That's why I didn't take Devontae Smith because I'm huge on him. I have a lot of Devontae Smith. Look, you can't take the same players every time. You just can't. I'm gonna go Connor Robinson, Devontae. I do like Spears, but I think right now the injury, I still can't say I put him over Najee. I like Spears because I can get him a couple rounds later, but I'll go Harris in terms of ranking. Harris, Spears, Warren. So there you go. Okay, good question. I didn't have this dilemma because Achane got taken right before my second pick. I went Tyreek Hill first. He did a mock. Mark Maloney went Hill Achane, too risky.
Well, it's a mock, so no, nothing's too risky. But no, I don't think it's too risky. I mean, I assume you took Hill at 2 or 3, and then you got Achane at the end of the second. I don't think it's too risky.
No, I mean, again, if you're going to take two players from the same offense, if it's the highest scoring offense or one of the highest scoring offenses in the league, that's not a bad thing.
All right, we better get some wide receivers.
Yeah, well, and there's really not a running back that jumps out as a good value there, anyways.
Well, no, because I have them all.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's true. I have none. Who would have thought we're at the day where you take 3 straight running backs and I'm taking 3 straight receivers?
Hey, sometimes got to get a little different here.
Oh, well, this will never change. Thank you, Jeff. That does warm my heart.
What do you say? Ah, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right. Stinger is in the house. That definitely.
What's up, Stinger?
Always is heartwarming.
Stinger Logan. Is that your middle name, Logan?
Yeah, I wonder.
Or is that your real name? Is Logan your real name?
Giving away some secrets here. Okay, I got the receivers. I just go. You know what? I honestly don't have hardly any at all. I don't even know if I've drafted Travis Kelce at all this best ball season. I'm not even lying. I'm going to take Travis Kelce.
I think I've got him once because I still feel like he goes too early for. Oh, so Logan is his name. All right, Stinger. We actually have a real name for Stinger after all these years, Logan.
All right.
Yeah, I just don't know if Travis Kelce has the upside I'm looking for in best ball, but I think I did draft him one time.
Yeah, that might be my first. We'll see. Let me try to get back to the beginning here. Wolfman, right before the stream, asked a question, trade question. Gus Edwards for Nick Chubb and Dontavian Wicks.
Is this redraft? Are we making redraft trades already? That always cracks me up. Like that was always something I found funny when I would finish a redraft league draft and then 5 minutes later I get a trade offer. It's like, do you not like the guys you drafted? You're already offering me that trade? I think I'm going Gus here. I do like Wicks, but Wicks is far from a sure thing. I mean, Gus is far from a sure thing too, but I do feel like Gus is the RB1 in Los Angeles for now. Chubb, I have no hope for this year. So for me, this is basically Gus for Wicks. I'm gonna take Gus, the guy I feel good enough he'll be the RB1 for the Chargers, rather than a wide receiver who I do like, but also may not pan out.
Yeah, I realistically, even as good as Wiggs has looked at times, it's the fourth receiver there if everybody's healthy. There's only so many targets to go around. He's a nice best ball target. I don't know how much value he has other than like a very late pick in redraft. And well, same thing with Chubb, basically. So I would take the Gus side too.
All right. Well, I don't have very much Ridley, so let's take a Ridley. Let's take a Ridley.
Take a Ridley. Yick. What's thoughts on this team? 12-team half
right.
PPR. Lamar, Hall, HN, Nico, Amari, Kelsey, Ridley, Caleb, Williams, Deontay Johnson, B-Rob, Moss, and Corum. It's got half of that team is players we just drafted. you have Ridley and Amari. I have Nico and Kelsey.
All right, you got an elite QB. You got very good running backs. Nico Cooper, Ridley, Deontay, like it. You got Caleb and Lamar. Okay. Brian Robinson, Moss, Blake Corum, Kelsey at tight end. This is a 12-team league? Yeah, you smashed that. You smashed it.
Yeah. Two stud running backs. I still am big on Nico. Yeah, I would love to have this team. So yeah, I don't know, 8.5 out of 10.
At least. The only reason I might not give it like a 10 is because you took a second QB with Lamar, but at least it's Caleb. At least you didn't take like, Matthew Stafford with Lamar or somebody like, that you could just grab off waiver anytime you want.
Right. Okay, a couple other rankings questions here. Let's do Mark Maloney. I think was on the earlier stream. Rank these receivers, and again, we're assuming this is redraft, not best ball. Pittman,
Right.
London, Adams, and Cup.
London, Pittman. I think London, Pittman, Adams, Cup is my order.
That's my order too. I thought you might go Devontae last, but I know you got some worries about Cup like I do. So
yeah, and Devontae is still the wide receiver one, even though I do feel like Gardner Minshew is going to destroy his value.
Well, we will see about that. All right.
I'm not even mad about this team having Cooper, Ridley, and Godwin at my wide receivers. I don't even hate it.
Well, I did. Well, I'm still doing. It's a slow draft, but I put together a hyper fragile start in a league that I started drafting like a couple days ago. I got 4 running backs, and then I went Dalton Kincaid at tight end. And so far, I'm not disappointed either. Now that's a best ball strategy that could definitely work, right, or it could flop miserably. We'll see. But yeah, I don't hate it either. Right. Well, 70. I'm surprised. I was thinking. Well, I'm still thinking I'll probably just grab CJ Stroud to pair with Nico here. I'm surprised Anthony Richardson's still on the board.
I actually considered Richardson there, but I need wide receivers.
Not sure why he's still on the board. Oh, there you go.
Well, he's not anymore.
All right, no running backs. I feel compelled to draft here. I'm going 0 RB. I'm going 0 RB. Let's get Stroud. It's just a 0 RB kind of night. All right. VJ,
you
talking about keepers. Okay, so I'm assuming you mean a keeper. Pittman, Dell, or Flowers. Or maybe rank them.
Well, it's keeper, so that does affect. It does affect, like you do have to think a little bit about long term. Although it's not like Dynasty where you could potentially be stuck with these players forever. Like, I think I'm just gonna rank them the way I would rank them in a redraft. Pittman, Flowers, Dell. Maybe Pittman, Dell, Flowers. Dell and Flowers are close for me. Pittman. Flowers Dell toss up.
It is pretty close. All right, so there, James Conner seemed like an obvious pick. Got him right at ADP too. For keeper, I'm finally a believer in Dell. I can't put the wide receiver 2/3, whatever, as much as we like Houston's offense, over Zay Flowers, clearly the number one receiver in Baltimore. Gonna go Flowers over Dell. Pittman Flowers is where I debate. I do like that Indy offense. I think I'm gonna go Pittman Flowers Dell.
Well, I was really hoping for Brian Thomas there for the bring back. All right, let's go. So we'll just go JSN.
Now, I haven't been trying to put too much stock into the week 17 builds, but now that we're getting closer, I'm starting to look at not necessarily designing my team around just week 17, because I think that, falling too deep into that kind of rabbit hole might be a mistake. Because like you always say, you need to get there first, right? You need to.
Right.
There are other weeks like the first 16 that matter too. But I really am intrigued by this whole thing where there's the 4 teams that play each other round robin within those 2 weeks. I think it's Chicago, Green Bay, Seattle, Minnesota. Is that what the 4 teams are? I'm pretty sure.
That's interesting. So like you get 2 stacks in the last 4 weeks.
You get the stacks and the bringbacks in consecutive weeks. And on the one hand, and this actually leads to a question, which we'll get to the question right now. Let me just put it up because it's a fair question, but also leads to this. Dirty Sanchez, knowing that Sam No Arnold is the question quarterback, what does that make you feel about Justin Jefferson?
I mean, nobody thought JJ McCarthy was going to be starting week 1, right? So we knew Sam Darnold was going to start. The only thing with JJ McCarthy is like, well, if Sam No Arnold or Darnold is terrible, at least they can turn to JJ McCarthy. Okay, so that's gone, but they still have Nick Mullins. So if Sam Darnold's terrible, they're going to turn to Nick Mullins. So to me, it's. I'm still feeling the same about JJ as I was before.
Yeah, I don't see what really changes. Like you said, did we know for sure? Did we really think that JJ McCarthy was the guy? And even if we thought he was the guy, meaning the start of week 1, did we know for sure that that was like a big improvement over last year? I mean, I didn't assume that was like some massive upgrade. This is not Caleb Williams, so I feel the same. All right. This guy has 3 running backs already, so I'm hoping he doesn't. And he already has Achane, so there's no way he takes Mostert here, right? There's no way.
No chance. Never has happened before.
No. All right, he didn't. Well, this sort of gets back to the earlier question. You're worried about having Achane and, Hill. No, I'm not worried about having Mostert and Hill.
Well, I'm definitely not in the best ball draft where,
right,
as long as one of them goes off, you're okay.
Quarterbacks starting to get off the board. So this guy already has 2 quarterbacks, and he just took Love. Okay, so if this guy does not take his second quarterback in the first 9 rounds, I'm going to just finish a quarterback, and I'm not just going to stop saying that because I always say I don't, and then I do it. I'm not usually someone who drafts quarterbacks early, but I'm just going to grab Jaden Daniels to stack with Terry McLaurin, and I'm going to be done at quarterback.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Massive upside. Also, because I'm getting him little bit after ADP. Oh, we got a super chat. It's Quinn. What's up, Quinn?
What's up, Quinner?
All right, got a question below. Picking third, half PPR 12 team. A lot of his mocks, he sees the Allen Laporta combo there. Well, we talk a lot about that, right? Okay,
At
so
the
thoughts
2-3,
getting those
Allen
positions
Laporta at the
early,
2-3?
feeling like wide receiver and running back can be manipulated. All right, go ahead. Well, actually, you're up, aren't you? You're up.
Yeah. I was going to say, Allen Laporta usually goes at the 3-4 turn, not the 2-3 turn. There is no way I'm taking Allen Laporta late second, early third. That's usually like 3-4 turn. Yeah, I'm not doing it at the 2-3 turn. No way.
One thing we say is there's not like any hard fast rule, can't, must, whatever, right? Every league's different. Every draft turns out differently. But here's the thing. You go one of those positions early, that's fine. If you get them both early, like your first 3 rounds, you're going quarterback and tight end, that means you're missing out on wide receiver or running back. And then you're really having to make up ground. You're saying you feel it can be made up later. You're not getting someone who probably has a realistic chance of being a top 10, wide receiver in like round 5 and 6 necessarily. It's more likely to get a quarterback or a tight end who can jump up to be a top 5 guy later in the draft than a wide receiver or somebody like that.
Right.
So I don't know. I just don't like grabbing both of those positions early because there's always a quarterback in the mid rounds, like CJ Stroud last year, right? That jumps up and becomes a stud. And there's really not as big of a gap. So I know it's appealing to have that elite quarterback and that elite tight end, but then you're going to look at your receiver room and you'd be like, I mean, it's fine, and you don't want it to just be fine. T-Law, because you are not stacking. You don't have any Jacksonville's players, do you?
Oh man, why did I star Trevor Lawrence? Oh, you know why I starred him?
Because you thought Calvin Ridley was still in Jacksonville?
No. Because the bring back with Calvin Ridley on the Titans because they played each other week 17.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that was a mistake. Should not have grabbed him there.
No, that's not a bad pick. Well, look, in stacks, well, first of all, you don't have to stack in best ball, but also your stack doesn't have to be an elite stack. You could grab a later pick of number 3, 4 receiver, something like that. I think it's fine.
Yeah, but who's left? Gabe Davis, I guess.
I was thinking Parker Washington.
What's that?
I was thinking Parker Washington last round.
Parker Washington.
Oh, Jacoby Myers. Okay, that's okay. I need a running back. Let's see. Gus or Ford? Gus or Ford? I think I have too much Gus. Or do I go Blake Corum? All right, let's go Jerome Ford. All right, Quinn, hope that helped. Also, big shout out. Rise is here. What is up?
What's up, Rise?
Juan Pablo is just saying hey.
Hey.
And another cameo. We've been blessed by Big Lenny showing up to say thanks for the 50K. Finally got to that 50K mark. Feels like we were at like 49.2 for like half a year.
Right? Yeah.
But appreciate that.
Yes, appreciate it.
Wow, look at that. All right. So I'm going to get either Gus or Blake Corum anyways. I'm going to get one of those guys. Now, kind of getting back to what Quinn was saying, I do feel like at least on Underdog, which again is kind of a different beast than like your home league draft or whatever draft. I feel like there is some good running back value here, upside in this range, right? Rounds 9, 10, but it's also risky. So best balls
Even in
different.
like the home leagues, because I've been using like ESP, looking at ESPN, Yahoo, ADP a lot because I know that's what most people play on. There's still a lot of good running backs late, even in those drafts.
Yeah. Got to get some more Blake Corum shares.
Like, how's Brock Purdy still on the board? All these quarterbacks going, and Brock Purdy's still out there. Like, nobody needs to stack Brock Purdy.
I honestly wonder if that's a reaction to the fact that he wasn't sharp in like a preseason game.
Oh man.
I
mean, what about
seriously,
did I really just get sniped on Gabe Davis?
you were actually going to take Gabe Davis. Wow.
Yeah, for the stack, but not now.
You never let it be said that there's anyone you won't draft.
I mean, do I just do? I mean, this draft is already weird, anyways. Do I just grab Purdy here?
Hey, and you could be done at quarterback too.
2 unstacked QBs. He's still on the board. How is Brock Purdy still on the board? Like almost 30, almost 20 picks below ADP.
Yeah, no kidding. That in most drafts, I always feel like quarterbacks go earlier than what it says they will. In this draft, we've seen some fall. Oh, and you didn't take them. All right.
No, and then he went right after me. Okay.
Yeah, and now here go the quarterbacks. All right, couple questions here. MC at the 1-3 CD, or do you just go Amon-Ra or Chase? He said he's fearful of Lamb being like a Le'Veon Bell situation. I don't think that's quite the same.
That's not gonna happen. I still go CD, but I think Amon-Ra or Chase is fine. I mean, Chase also not practicing, doesn't have a contract either. I mean, the difference is Chase is actually with the team, whereas CD is not. But I'm still going CD. But if you want to go Amon-Ra, I think it's fine. If you want to go Chase, I think it's fine. But it sounds like CD and the Cowboys are getting closer. He's probably going to have a contract before the season starts, and then you're going to be like, oh, I should have just taken CD.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason. I can't make an argument for why you would take Chase over CD because the contract situation isn't any better for him. In fact, it sounds like it's worse, but also I would never have put him over him. So again, I'm on Raw safer, and I don't hate it, but I'm still taking CD. Not too worried. Yet. Stinger, aka Logan, with the keeper question. It's a 2-keeper league. He's already keeping Sun God. And then between Stroud, Tank, or Kyron, who do you keep?
Hold on, I'm thinking what I want to do here.
Stinger, is there any like draft cost for it or any reason?
Yeah, if you're just keeping 2, I'm keeping Amon-Ra and Dell.
Keeping the receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume it's just straight keeper, not like round values because you would have mentioned it. So, yeah, I'm putting Kyron last there. I think just go with Dell. I mean, it's fine. It's easier, honestly, to replace a quarterback than a stud receiver.
Keep 1 in the first round and 1 in the 5th. Okay, so you're getting Dell in the 5th. That's fine.
But no matter who he keeps, it's a 5th round?
I guess.
Okay.
And he gets first overall pick. Nice.
All right, I'm just going to follow my theme of taking some players I have zero of. I have not drafted Tyler Algier at all yet. So here we go.
All right, so looking at Deshaun Watson with my next pick, I have Amari Cooper and David Njoku. There's no reason for anybody to draft Deshaun Watson between now and me. Will Deshaun Watson make it to me?
And how will you feel if he does? He's probably pretty good.
I'll feel good because I'll be like, okay, at least I'll feel good. I'll be like, at least I got the Brown stack.
There you go. Okay, let's see. Speaking of stacks, week 17. I'm not doing too great there because I have Texans. They play Baltimore. It's too early. It's too early for Bateman. I'm going to buy dip on Josh Downs to see if he's a late season surger.
Yeah, he's being forgotten because of that injury, but I still like him.
I mean, he misses the first couple of weeks, so he really shouldn't be cracking my lineup the first couple of weeks anyways with the receivers I have. So I'll hope for some big games in the mid to late part of the season. Guess what? Anthony is not only in the house. What's up, Anthony?
What's up, Anthony?
Got the membership.
Nice.
All right. Anthony, I think it's safe to say you are the best, most loyal, one of the most loyal in-game members because you're for baseball and football.
That's right.
All right, so we better do right by him. Answer this. All right, he's keeping Brees and JT in a 12-team full PPR league. The usual suspects being kept, except Amon-Ra.
Wow.
Okay, wait. The suspense thickens. Who is being taken with the first pick? The main players available are Bijan and Marvin Harrison Jr. Who would you take with the keepers I have? Because you got two running backs.
Yeah, hold on. Do I gamble on? Man, let's just grab them. Well, he's keeping JT and who?
Brees Hall.
I mean,
does that just make it a automatic go Harrison, even though we would usually say Bijan first?
I might just still go Bijan.
Because you could flex him, right? Or you could flex one of those running backs.
I assume. I hope. I mean, man, if you have those three running backs, like, yeah, I might still go Bijan. I think I don't think you can go wrong though. Either way, I mean, because look, it's a keeper league, so either of these guys could be your keeper next year. Like, if Bijan is incredible or Harrison Jr. is incredible, you're probably going to keep them over JT, one of them over JT next year.
True.
So I think you could really go either way here.
Yeah, I mean, I still clearly like Bijan better than Harrison overall. You know, I hate to pick a player just for the positional advantage. I think Bijan is going to be a monster in PPR because he's going to catch a lot of passes. So, yeah, I think I might just have to say Bijan, like you said, just better keeper value, better overall value. Yeah, should do that. And then we got another membership. I'm going to get to that. Make sure I don't miss my pick here. Rahul. Remember Rahul?
What's up?
From before?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. And wants to know how you feel about taking the Sun God at 1.5 in a half PPR league. He says he likes Brees, but would maybe prefer to wait for the second, third round, get guys like Henry, Kyron, Pacheco. What do you think?
Yeah, I think generally I agree with this. It is half PPR, which makes me lean a little more towards the running back in Brees, but I don't think there's anything wrong with Amon-Ra. And I do agree, like at pick 5, there is a chance Henry or Kyron will be there, or Pacheco if you really want to just force a running back in. And I don't necessarily love the second round wide receivers that are there. Although you never know. I mean, you gotta kind of know your league too, right? Like, does your league go really running back heavy? Does your league just kind of follow ADP? So I don't think it's terrible going to Amon-Ra over Brees, but in half PPR, I probably do give Brees the slight edge.
All right. I barely got my pick in time, and I'm not even talking. Yeah, I think even in half PPR, I mean, how much can we really ding the Sun God there, right? Pick
Right.
1.5. Someone had asked this, I think, in the earlier mock between half and PPR. I don't think you change things up too much. I like Priest too, but we can't deny that Sun God is a safer pick. And I don't mind safe if it's a top 5 pick. I'm okay with getting the floor play if the floor is 1,000 yards, and 100 catches. So, yeah, I'll take Amon-Ra there. And a question from, sorry if I say this wrong, Joy Vitor wants to know if you should focus on running backs or wide receivers in the early rounds.
Well, I'll say it. First of all, you should be focusing on taking like the best players in the early rounds. But I'll also say if you're in the type of league that favors one or the other, like if you're in a non-PPR league, you should absolutely be focusing on running backs. If you're in a PPR league where you start 3 wide receivers and a flex or 2, you should probably be focusing more on wide receivers. So it really depends, but for like most leagues, like if you're in like a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex, half or full PPR league, just take the best players.
Right. You don't want to just go in and say, I'm taking this position, I'm taking that position. It really depends. But that actually might be a good time to mention. It's a good time to mention the draft pilot, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So if we're doing best ball here, of course, but you all have questions about your redraft league, you want help during your draft, we did a regular redraft mock PPR earlier, and of course we're going to do a lot more in the next couple of weeks, probably tomorrow too. So we do have an app. It's completely free. It's called Draft Lane. So go check it out. Go to the App Store, go to the Play Store, whatever it is. And when you go, just search Draft Lane. It's a free app. And there is a feature there alongside things that you can use in season. Ask us trade questions, ask us start sit questions, ask us waiver wire questions. There's also the thing you can use right now called Draft Pilot. Basically, it's like having us right there telling you who you should pick. And it doesn't just give you a player. It spits out the first 3 that are ranked according to your league's format and who you've already drafted. It updates live as you draft. And then if you don't like those players, it gives you a couple of alternative suggestions. So definitely something you might want to consider. So check it out. Carlos Hunt with a super chat. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate that. Let's get to this question. Okay, we still got a couple rounds left. All right, 14 team, full PPR. Kept CMC, got the number 1 pick. Nice. Goff, Sun God, London, CMC and Achane, Devontae Smith, Kincaid. On the bench, Hollywood, Keon Coleman, Jalen Hyatt, and Rico Dowdle. He said it seemed like a solid draft, but wants to know. This was a 14-teamer. He did go CMC first overall. Okay. It's because you kept CMC.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
anyway, I was like, how'd you get Sun God?
Yeah, you got CMC and Sun God. You got 2 first rounders. You got London, Achane, who are second rounders in a lot of drafts, third rounders. You got Smith, who's like a third, fourth rounder. Kincaid's like a fourth rounder. Hollywood on the bench. Coleman High. Yeah, this is a great team for a 14 teamer. Well done, Carlos.
Yeah, no complaints there. I'd be very happy with that team. Yeah, it does get harder. You think, well, 14 versus 12, and some of those positions thin out quickly. So it is harder than you would expect to field a solid team across the board. But you've got the high end players.
The bench is where
Yeah.
You never feel great about your bench in a 14 teamer. But you got Hollywood, you got Coleman, you got Dowdle. Like, you have some good players on your bench.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. I guess as good as Kelsey is, I probably need a second tight end at some point.
Yes.
So talk about buying the dip. Apparently, Juwan Johnson is totally fine.
Yeah,
he was being drafted way earlier because he was hurt, but now apparently he's not. So why not go for the touchdown upside?
Yep, I have quite a bit of Juwan Johnson from earlier.
Rahul, if you talk about NFC high stakes leagues, yeah, ADPs are definitely very different depending on your platform. That's what we talk about. Yahoo here, ESPN here, Sleeper here. We try to kind of let you know. And of course, Underdog, very different. High stake leagues are also just very different because you got a different set of people drafting, of course, but also just the mentality is different. You have to take some risks there, right? You can't just follow the herd.
No. Also, you got to think if you're doing high stakes leagues, you probably feel confident in your analysis, whether you're right or wrong. You feel confident in it. So people aren't going to be afraid to take their guys when they feel like their guys should be taken in that type of format, right? Like, whereas in your home leagues, it's like, ooh, I really like player X, but people are going to say I'm taking him I'm reaching on him, right? And they don't want, but in high stakes, it's like, nah. I'm getting my guys. I'm trying to win the money, right? I'm trying to win the big money. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have fear if you're going to play in those kind of leagues. All right, here's where the running backs are all basically dart throws. Go with the guy who's going to see some action at the very least, high-end handcuff.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, the Ravens do get the Texans in the final week, so I guess it's sort of a bring back for my stack. Sort of, if Baltimore's running ahead.
Other than the T-Law pick, which, okay, whatever. I think I'm actually going to really like this team considering I went RB, RB, RB.
You know what? You're not sure how a team's going to turn out until you do it. Like, you might try something you never tried before and think, oh, it's not too bad.
All right, this guy's getting a lot of buzz. Let's take a dart throw on him.
I was just looking at the receiver ranks here. Yeah, it's funny because his ADP went from, of course, being non-existent to now almost inside the top 200.
And then we got one more wide receiver to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably take another receiver too. All right, Jaden wants to know these receivers, rank them real quick. Olave, London, Devontae, and Harrison. It's not the one we did before. I feel like it's the same guys, slightly different.
Yeah, it's a little different. I don't think Harrison was the other one, and I don't think Olave. I'm going to go Harrison, Olave, London, Devontae. It's going to be my order.
Me too. Same order. I think Harrison still is number one there. Billy is in the house. Billy Harris. Let's talk about some old guys. Oh, they're really not old at all compared to us. What am I saying? Judy, Lockett, Gabe Davis. Okay, they're veterans. Gabe
Yeah,
Davis has
I'm not
already gotten too much
expecting.
airtime. What do you think about Lockett and Judy?
Lockett did not look good last year. Judy hasn't looked good his entire career. Gabe Davis is what Gabe Davis is. Yeah, I'm not really on these guys this year, to be honest.
Look, I'm not the only one. Cam Akers gone before I could even take him.
Well, look, he looked good in preseason. You know that's all it takes for somebody's ADP to climb.
That is all it takes. Hey,
You look good. You look good in a preseason game against backups. You are going to see your ADP go up.
Golden. All right. It's time for a dart throw that I have not taken yet. Huh. I don't know. Which dart throw? Which dart to throw? All right. Talk about a guy, a buzzy young player. Not scared of Justin Jefferson. How about Jalen Naylor? Not scared of him either.
He's getting a little bit of buzz.
A little bit.
But I mean, if we're already worried if Sam Darnold can support Jefferson, can he really support?
Well, I'm not worried.
Okay, but can he support Jefferson, Addison, and Naylor?
Probably not. But look, 18th round of a best ball draft. He just needs one good game, right? Just one game.
Hey, maybe Addison gets suspended right in time for the fantasy playoffs.
Well, I mean, honestly, that does kind of partly play into it. Like, what if Addison misses games? Okay. Yes, this is Gabe Donut King. Let's give him his rightful nickname, Davis.
Yeah.
Before we get to it, also, this is actually a really good question, Juan Pablo. Which ADP list do you think is the most accurate? Sleeper, Yahoo, all of those.
Well, I haven't looked at the NFL one, so I have no idea. I think Sleeper is probably most accurate in my opinion.
Yeah. That's
why ESPN by far the least accurate. Like I look at the ESPN ADP and I'm like, maybe I should just join like a $100 ESPN league because like Hollywood Brown outside the top 100 pick before his injury, he was going outside the top 100 picks. Like what?
Yeah. I mean, you have to think, and this goes back to the question about the NFC and the high stakes leagues. You have to think about the client base, right? The more serious, hardcore versus casual. So yeah, that's why we use Sleeper too. One last thing before we break down our teams. This was before I took Jalen Naylor. Bobby Digital says he's loving the team. I'll tell you how I feel about it, but let's do Chris first. Went Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Will Levis. I like it. Three-headed monster there.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So now that it's all said and done, you're going hyper fragile. You got 3 running backs in the first 3 rounds, and then Vidal is your 4th.
Yeah, I was happy to give Vidal as my 4th, honestly. Like, look, he might not do anything early in the season, but hopefully Breece Hall, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry are doing things early in the season, and maybe down the stretch, Vidal.
I'm okay with it. And look, this affords you, since you only took 4 running backs, affords you the ability to take a third quarterback, right? Get you more upside there, and to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 receivers. Is that it?
That's right, 9 wide receivers. I mean, I didn't take my first wide receiver until I took Amari Cooper in the 4th. So a lot of quantity over quality. Although I mean, Amari, Calvin Ridley, Godwin, JSN, Samuel Dotson, who it sounds like now is actually going to be the number 2 wide receiver and going to play a lot in the slot, it sounds like, which I think is really good for him. So I'm coming back around on Dotson. Bateman. Winton's got a lot of hype. And I took Malik Washington for the bring back with the Browns in week 17.
That's the other thing. It gives you a chance to take one more lotto ticket, like a Jordan Whittington and a guy. Who knows? Who knows? All right. And then Njoku and Freiermuth. Very solid. Should be totally fine there. Mix and match. And then let's see this team. I went Stroud Daniels. Yes, I'm aware,
Oh,
and I noticed. I took guys with the same bye week. I'm starting to do that a little bit. Starting to just say, forget bye weeks. I'm going upside. What
all
do you think
right.
about Stroud Daniels combination though?
Yeah, I personally don't like going with the same bye week. I don't like taking that 0, but I mean, if you can survive that 0, then it's okay. Then it's totally fine.
All right, running back. So this is a 0 RB build because I waited. I got Connor, Mostert, Ford, Corum Algier, Bucky Irving. It's getting a little bit of hype, and Justice Hill.
Yeah, I mean, for waiting on running back till what, round 7, round 8, whatever. What is that, round 8? It's actually not bad. It's actually not bad. I mean, look, it's best ball, so you just need like 2 of these guys to hit on any week.
Got the boring vets really at the top there, but you know, if Corum is a league winner this year, if Irving takes the starting job, if Bijan, God forbid, goes down, then there's that upside. All right, and then receivers. Ty Hill, Nico Collins, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Josh Downs, and Marcus Robinson, Jalen Naylor.
League winning Jalen Naylor. Obviously, well, Neighbors pick's a little shocking, but you got to take him sometimes. I mean, you can't have no Neighbors, right? He's got too, especially in this format, he's got too much upside. So,
right,
yeah, a lot of upside here, and I like those late round picks as well.
And Kelsey and Juwan Johnson.
I like it.
All right,
I like it.
Different for me, but that's the point. You got to have a little bit of exposure to as many high upside players as you want. You really don't have to have exposure to every player. You don't have to draft Gabe Davis just because it's best ball, but you want to mix it up, right? Because sure, you might love your sleepers and your rankings, but you might not be 100% accurate. So that's what we're trying to do: different builds, do things that might be out of our comfort zone, but see what happens. All right. Well, I'm glad y'all were able to hang out with us and see another Underdog draft. We're going to keep drafting, draft season in full effect. And that's why we're also going to be dropping videos every single day as we have been doing. So don't forget to check out every new video as they come out every afternoon. And all the live streams we're going to continue to do basically every night until week 1. And it's really not that far off. We're going to start giving you advice for week 1, who to start, who to sit after your draft, and who to start looking at on waivers. That's right. It's almost here. It's so close. You can almost smell the football being kicked off for week 1. All right, guys, don't forget to hit notifications because we're going to go live again. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you on the next one.